Views of 3D objects. Before we start looking at surface area, we're going to look at drawing views of things. All right. When you probably have used them before, these little blocks to build shapes. We're not going to do every single example that's in here, but we're going to get to that in a few minutes. I want to show you that the two pieces of paper that you have, one on each side. The front of the page is this isometric dot paper. It's just a guide and a reference to help you draw three-dimensional views of things. And you also have square dot paper, which is, again, a guide to help you draw two-dimensional views of things. What we're going to do, we're going to do a little activity here together before you get going, because I think it'll help you with your using that paper, especially the isometric dot paper. Let's find it here. All right. First, we're going to look at if you're drawing two-dimensional views of things. That shape over there, okay, if you can kind of visualize this shape here, it's imagining it's made up with these little blocks here. I want us to try and draw the different views of this thing. Different views from different directions. If you've taken drafting, you probably have this concept down of front view, side view, top view. If you're trying to draw that image there, they only have 4 views they're asking for here, but how many different views could you have of this object? Is there any other views other than these 4? Yeah, you could have the bottom view and the back view, I guess, right? But we'll stick with these 4 here. I am assuming that they are calling they're calling the front view from this direction here. Okay? As in from down here, looking at the side that's lit up, right? As though you're standing, or as though you're looking at it from this direction. I'm assuming they're calling that the front view. I could be wrong, but we'll see. And I'm assuming this, what would this side be then? If this is the front view, that's the right side view, right? And then the top view is from above like that. Which side of the piece of paper that I gave you do you draw the different views of this thing on? Do you use the isometric side or the dot paper side? Which side do you use for two-dimensional views? You use the squares. You use the square dot paper for views. So flip it over to that side and we're going to draw the views of this thing. Can you try and draw the front view of this object using the square dot paper? And can you leave some space around it so you can draw the other views? Don't draw it right in the top corner. Draw it sort of in the middle so you have space above and to each side. Okay, try and draw the front view of that thing, but leave space. Leave space. I'm going to pause this for a second here. This is the three-dimensional. This is kind of a drawing that makes it look three-dimensional. We're trying to draw the different views of the thing. The front view of that thing looks like that, right? Okay, the front view of that thing. The front view just looks like that. Do you want to see it again? If you turn the thing to the front, that's what it looks like. Okay? Okay, so draw that shape in the center of your, or somewhere on the page, and label it front view. Well, it looks like it's 3 squares high, and then there's the one sticking out to the side, so it looks like that, right? If you're trying to organize on the page, the way you would do this in a, if you're showing it in drafting or something like that, is you would put the front view right here, right? So your front view would look like this, right? That was our front view. It'd be good if you used a ruler. I didn't obviously use a ruler here, but there's the front view. If you were doing this as though you were drafting, you'd put the top view right above as though you turned the image, and whatever your top view is, you'd put it up there. It doesn't have to look like that, but if you put the top view above it and the right side image over here and the left side image over here, that's the best way to do it. On that website there, all they do is they just list them all side by side. But if you really want to do it properly, you put the top view right above the front view, and you put the right side view to the right side of it, and you put the left side view to the left side of it. You don't necessarily have to do a left side all the time if the left looks the same as the front. Really, you'll usually only need 3 views. Anyway, so that's why I had you draw it in a bit from the edge, so you could put the top view above it, and so on. Does that make sense? You want to check what the top view looks like? Have you drawn it yet? Check what the top view looks like. Okay, ready? Here's the top view. Okay, there's the top view, right? You want to see it again? You do not? No, you're drawing this. You're drawing this part right here, right? You don't have to draw any shadows or anything. So again, if you're drawing it the way you would in drafting, that top view would be right above it as though you turned it. So if this is your top view, it would be right above it like that, okay? And you could actually, if you really want to be proper here, you could put some dotted lines showing that that's turned that way, as though you turned it up, and you could label it top, front, etc., right? What about the right side view? You want to try drawing the right side view first? Or do you want to see it first? Want to see the right side view? There's the right side view. You want to see it again? So if you're drawing it on your page, it should be off to the side here, right? And I think it went all the way down to there, right? But there was a hole right here. So you could do something like that to show that there's a hole in the thing. And again, if you wanted to put lines the way you would on a proper drawing, and you call this right. It should, like the edges should line up to show how it turns, right? If you're doing it the right way. Now, what you could also do is this. Really, there's one other thing we could do here, because when you look at it from the right side, there's one other piece of detail that we probably missed. How do you show that this thing sticks out on this side here when you look at the right side view? It's hard to tell here, but if you at least put lines there to show that that piece sticks out, right, on the right side, to show that there's that piece there, what you could do is you could do this. Okay, you want to watch carefully? This is very complicated, drawing these lines here. You could do that to show that that piece sticks out. Okay? If you're going to do the other side, normally for drawings you don't need the other side. Why might I not need the other side, the left side over here? Why do you think? It's just the other one reversed, although it doesn't have this piece sticking out, right? But you should be able to tell from this that you have the piece sticking out. Really what we should do here is put some lines to show the different levels of height, right? That the height changes. Really, it should be this to show that there's some different levels there. But anyways, if you want the left view is just going to be the complete reverse of this, right? Okay, are you ready to test yourself here? Do you have enough room left on that page? No, you don't have enough room left on that page? I want you to try this thing. Okay, well, let's try. Okay, for this thing right here, this is the front from that direction. I want you to try and draw the three views, just three. The front, top, and right. If you want, again on your page, try and do it so that one is turned from the other. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a while you're trying to do that. Try and do it without consulting the other people at your table, and then check with them, and we'll check on here in a second. Okay. So front view, from the front, it's 3 tall over here on the left side, right? For this part of it, you see all of that, and then you need 2 from right there. That's what it looks like from the front. Okay, guys. From the front, you see a stack 3 high from this direction and 2 there. The top view, you're going to see the light brown. You notice how the color here? The color matches what you see. You see this light brown here? And this light brown and this light brown? And then that one? So you're going to see 1 out to the side, and you're going to see 3 down like this. That's what the top view is. I would say again, though, that I would draw that top view above the front view, lined up with it. And then the right side view, you're going to see all these dark brown ones here. That one, that one, that one, that one, and those ones, right? So it's going to be, you're going to see 3 dark brown ones. You see those 2 dark brown ones and that one, right? So you're going to see a stack that's 3 high here. You're going to see a stack that's 2 here. And then you're going to see 1 single one over there, the right side view. Okay, you see all the dark brown ones there? Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. 3D. Guys, we're going to move on now to doing the reverse of that. You're going to be given some 2D stuff, and you have to draw the 3-dimensional shape. And I'm also going to ask you to build the 3-dimensional shape. I'm going to give you some little blocks to build it with. First of all, before we move ahead here, there's a couple different ways you can represent 3-dimensional. Obviously, it's hard, and artists and pictures and stuff you see all over the place, different ways of representing 3 dimensions on 2-dimensional paper, right? The paper's 2-dimensional, the screen's 2-dimensional, but you're trying to make it look 3-dimensional. One way to do it is with perspective, which you might have used before. Like there's a vanishing point here. I don't know if you've probably done some kind of drawings like that before. In art, for sure. So 2 different ways, right? We're going to do this one. We're going to use this, what's called isometric, where the angles are not 90 degrees, even though in real life some angles would be 90, but they look like they're bigger on the paper to make it look 3-dimensional. The angles are actually like 120 degrees here. All right? So this is not dots, but if you flip the paper over to that isometric side, you have dots that are they make triangles and hexagons, right? The way you can draw 3-dimensional things is to draw things like that, where you have the angles following the dots on your paper. To draw a little block, if you want to draw a little block, you have a corner, right? We are going to try and draw this thing, okay? We're going to try and draw this thing. Well, let's do this. I told you we're going to go the other direction here, right? I told you we're going to draw the 3-dimensional, and I showed you the 3-dimensional. Which one matches up there? That corner, that front corner, they have it highlighted here. Which one of those matches? A. No, not A. Well, let's look at this. There's this gap underneath here. This is almost like, look at these ones, 2 of them are the same, right? This one, there's one missing here. How many little extra pieces? There's this C-shaped thing, and there's 2 extras sticking out, right? You'd see 3 faces here, 1, 2, 3, and you'd see 1 on the other side. You see 1, and you see 3. It's not C. A and B are almost the same except for right here. The only difference is right in here. You see how this one doesn't look, this thing, it looks like there's no connection there? If you look from the top, if this block behind it here wasn't there, then it would look like this. Like if I pick A here, there's a block missing in the top view. There's this block missing here. You see that one in the back? It's B, right? That's the one that it is. All right, this is what I meant, where we're going to try and, I want you to take this thing. I'm going to give you some little blocks to work with. The first thing I have to say about the little blocks is I want you to build this. I don't want you to build a giraffe or a little house or a horse or a random shape. Okay, are we clear on this? I have to come and take the blocks away, and I'm going to kind of embarrass you probably if I have to do that, okay? So stick to this. We have 15 minutes. I'm confident you can do this, and I'm confident most of you are going to be able to handle this. Some people can't handle when they're given any kind of toy, though, and they just can't help but getting off task. You need to build this and then draw it three-dimensionally on that isometric dot paper. You can ask questions as you go. You can work with your group. Okay? Okay, let me re-explain this here. You're taking the little cubes and you're trying to build a single shape that has this view from the front, this view from the top, and this view from the right side. You're not building three different shapes. You're building one thing that has those three views. It's hard. Okay? But I think you can do it. Then after you build it, try and draw it on the isometric side of the paper, the isometric dot paper. All right? Okay, you need 8 cubes to build it. Start by making that little staircase looking thing, the right side view. Okay, so look at it from the right side. Like the front of the staircase, and then turn it so you're looking at the right side of the staircase. Right? It should look exactly like that picture down there. And then turn it to the front so you're looking at the front of the staircase. The front view doesn't look right, does it? It needs to have something sticking off the bottom side to match the front view there. So there's some that stick out to the side on the bottom level. But from the top, it tells you that it has to have something sticking out the back of the staircase. Like this is going down the stairs here. 1, 2, these are the stairs from the top. Right? This is each of the stairs going down. There's a little piece sticking out the front of the bottom stair, and there's a little piece sticking out at the bottom back corner. It looks like that. So it looks like this. Okay? Oops. Where's the picture? Here's the picture. That's the base. You can start with any one of them, okay? There's the top views. That's what it looks like.
I just needed that right there.
All right.
There. You guys.
Can you try and build it and then draw it on the page, please? Guys, build that, draw it on the page. Put your name on that piece of paper. And I need to see the piece of paper before you go, okay? I need you to hand it in before you go. Just hang on, I'll come get it from your group. It's easier if I pick up the 4 from your group.